This program is one of those especially selected to be broadcast to the men and women of our armed forces in all parts of the world.
Wrigley's Spearmint Gum presents The First Line. Written in eternally lustrous letters of glory in the pages of American history are the words Bunker Hill. Over more than a century and a half, the memory of Bunker Hill has remained a brilliant example of the indomitable spirit of the gallant men who so treasured liberty that life itself was less. Now, roaring up out of the gigantic conflict of today comes the new saga of Bunker Hill, a true story, just as thrilling as that which took place on June 17th. Of the year 1775, when embattled Americans proved that they could stand in the face of the full power of a mighty enemy. The spirit of Bunker Hill lives on in the officers of the men of an aircraft carrier of the United States Navy. Today, for the first time, the account of the ordeal of the Bunker Hill is emblazoned in the newspapers throughout the land. And this evening, we bring you a first-hand story of the carrier Bunker Hill as it fought for life while under attack from Japanese suicide planes. Here in person to bring you this thrilling true story from the first line is the naval officer who guided the Bunker Hill through some of its most true moments.
Commander Charles J Odend'hal, United States Navy, navigator of the Bunker Hill.
Listen, for in just a moment you'll hear from Commander Odend'hal one of the most exciting true stories of the Navy fighting in the first line.
The American people are known to be a resourceful people. When a new problem arises, the average American goes into action and works it out. For example, look at our victory gardeners. Many people are raising radishes and turnips who never raised a thing in their lives. Our kids are using their wits to make the scrap and paper drive successful. Yes, the American people know how to take hold of a problem and do something about it. It's also the things we're doing without. All of us are going along without many of the pre-war comforts and conveniences we once took for granted. Yet most everyone is meeting the problems of wartime rationing and shortages with intelligence and understanding, and with a friendly spirit of cooperation, too. One of many things folks are doing without is Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. Many people miss it now and are looking forward to its return. But they're willing to wait for this old favorite until it's practical to produce chewing gum of real Wrigley's Spearmint quality in a quantity large enough to take care of everyone who wants it. Meantime, we Wrigley people are not making any spearmint flavor gum. When we do make it again, we give you our promise it'll be the original, genuine Wrigley Spearmint Gum, the quality gum which you always found so delicious and so satisfying.
Late in the summer of 1943, the carrier Bunker Hill was at Panama, a new ship, but recently launched and commissioned. In just a few days, she would make her way out into the Pacific to take her place with the other ships of our Navy, fighting to turn back the Japanese. As she lay at anchor on this, her last evening in port, two of her officers were standing on the dock, looking her over, proud of this mighty ship in which they were to serve.
Man, isn't she sweet?
Yeah. The Bunker Hill will add a lot of power to our punch out there in the Pacific.
Yeah. Look at the way she rides. Like a queen. Yeah, she won't be afraid of anything the nips send at her.
She don't need to be. The Bunker Hill's made to dish it out, Red.
Yeah. Say. Hey, do you know that old lady over there?
Uh-uh. You?
No. Mighty interested in our ship. I've seen her here on the dock before.
She looks harmless enough. Hey, she's coming this way. Looks like she's going to speak to us.
Well, if she asks any questions, take it easy.
Sure.
Good afternoon, boys.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Are you connected with that ship out there? The big one?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
My, that's a huge ship. It's brand new, isn't it? You needn't be afraid of me. I've got nothing but good wishes for you and every man that belongs to that ship. I've seen so many go through here on their way out to join in the fight. You don't mind an old lady like me talking to you?
Why, no, ma'am, not at all.
You know, I've heard folks say that some ships are lucky and others unlucky right from the very start. Is that true?
Oh, some ships happen to run into more trouble than others.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, maybe I'm just superstitious. But there's something I'd like to do to make that ship out there, your ship, a lucky one.
Well, we'll take what comes, ma'am. I guess our ship can take care of herself.
Oh, of course. But just the same, I'd like to do what I can. Oh, you wouldn't mind humoring an old lady, would you?
Anything we can do, ma'am.
Then I'd like to have you take it.
Oh, what is it, ma'am?
It's a coin I've carried for years. A rare coin. My lucky piece. And, well, I haven't much time left. And I'd like to know that my lucky piece will go on being lucky for you young men.
Well, ma'am, we're honored, and we'll be glad to put it up someplace on the ship where all the men can see it.
And no, I wish you all the greatest of good fortune.
Thank you. Thank you for all of us.
Oh, who'll we say gave it to the ship?
Just call it Mrs. Murphy's lucky piece.
As the Bunker Hill moved out into the conflict, Mrs. Murphy's lucky piece went with her, a token of the good wishes of one little old lady. And it wasn't long before the Bunker Hill needed all the luck it could muster, for she found action in the first line.
Armistice Day, 1943.
The Bunker Hill took part in an attack on the Jap stronghold at Rabaul.
Christmas Day, 1943.
The Bunker Hill engaged in a strike against the entrenched Japs at Kavieng.
New Year's Day, 1944.
Again, the Bunker Hill hit Kavieng, and now this fighting ship had earned the nickname the Holiday Express.
As the tempo of the war against the Japs mounted, the Bunker Hill kept pace. Through 1944, the enemy felt her fury.
The Gilbert Islands, the Marshall, Truk.
The Bunker Hill took part in those battles.
2 strikes against Tokyo.
Then the China coast, the Ryukyus,
Formosa,
the Bonins, and Volcano Island.
then Iwo Jima and Okinawa.
Planes at the Bunker Hill shot down 475 enemy planes.
Sunk, probably sunk or damaged, more than 750,000 tons of Jap shipping.
Then on May the 11th of this year, less than 2 months ago, the Bunker Hill faced its greatest ordeal. Here before the first-line microphone is an officer who played a leading role in the heroic saga of the Bunker Hill on that fateful morning. Commander Charles J Odend'hal, where was the Bunker Hill on the morning of May the 11th?
We were lying east and north of Okinawa, in such a position that some of our planes were supporting our forces on the island, and others were making strikes on the Jap suicide plane base at Kikai, an island north of Okinawa. Our job was to prevent those kamikaze planes from getting through to our land and sea forces, which were locked in combat with the Nippon Okinawa.
Then some of your planes were in the air, Commander?
Oh, yes. Some of them were off on strikes against Kikai and Okinawa. Others were on deck, rearming and refueling, getting ready to take off again. Everyone was working at top speed. I happened to be officer of the deck at that time, and I was on the bridge with Captain Seitz and Lieutenant John Hasberg, the senior watch officer.
Beautiful morning, isn't it, Captain? Depends on how you look at it, Charlie. In our position too close to Kikai, I'd rather we had an overcast to hide under. No clouds at all. These scattered cloud formations are made to order for those Nip suicide planes. It's just what they like.
Those clouds looked innocent enough.
That's the trouble. No telling which of them might be hiding one of those kamikaze boys.
Well, we've been hitting the Japs for 58 consecutive days and nights, and no suicide plane has gotten through to us yet.
Looks like Mrs. Murphy's lucky piece is living up to its promise.
Well, so far, so good. But we're asking for trouble, coming in so near to the base where they train those suicide boys.
Our guns are working on something. There it is, sir. On the starboard quarter, nip plane. A Zeke. It dropped right out of one of those clouds, and it's coming in low.
He's going to try to crash our planes parked on the flight deck.
There's his bomb. There it comes. He's crashing.
Charlie, keep her nose into the wind. Sweep those flames astern.
Yes, sir. Quartermaster, steady as she goes. Aye, sir. Our own ammunition's exploding.
There's nothing we can do to save those planes on the flight deck. How about the pilots and crewmen?
I saw some of them go over the side, sir. The others have come up board.
Destroyers are moving in to pick up the men in the water. Damage control parties are working on the fires, sir. No fire forward on the flight deck, but the after part of the ship is burning badly, sir.
Our anti-aircraft's firing. Can you make out what they're shooting at, Commander? There's something astern of us.
No, I can't see a thing back there. So much smoke.
There's something above the smoke.
It's a plane, a Judy. It's coming in over our stern.
Another suicide plane. Look out! There goes its bomb. And the plane's going to crash the bridge. Stand by. We're going to be hit.
Charlie, get a party to fight that fire.
Yes, sir.
That's what he was trying to do. Crash the island and kill the men who are running the ship. Came mighty close. Unless those fires are subdued, he's likely to make good. Charlie, see that pressure in the water mains is maintained. The Bunker Hill is trouble. Whether she sinks or stays afloat depends on what we do within the next hour.
It would be almost impossible to describe the scene on the flight deck of the Bunker Hill as I looked out over it from the pilot house. Flames and smoke belched up out of two great holes in our deck and from the elevator shaft. And from the island clear back to the stern, the ship seemed to be afire. That was all I could see, but I knew what must be going on below. Every usable hose on the ship was in action, spitting streams of water at the raging fires. Far down in the ship, men battled their way through dense clouds of smoke and searing heat towards safety. Every man aboard fought for his own life and the life of the ship. Many of them were forced to jump over the side or were thrown overboard by the force of the explosion which rocked the ship as more of our own ammunition exploded. Although our communication system was badly damaged, we did get reports from various parts of the ship.
Dixon, hold to the course.
Aye, sir.
Commander, there are more than a dozen trapped in the machine shop. They're calling for help. The machine shop? That's way below.
I know where that is, sir. I just came from there.
Even the paint's burning on the bulkheads down there, and they can't find a way out. They're calling for volunteers to go in and try to get them out. That's a bad place to get to. Every passageway will be filled with smoke.
I know how to get in there, sir. If you could get someone to relieve me at the wheel, I'll go.
You don't have to, Dixon. It's a job for volunteers.
Well, if I don't get them out, why, they'll... Please, sir, let me go.
All right, Dixon. We'll relieve you. Here, Bernardes, take the wheel.
Aye, sir.
You're sure you can get to them, Dixon?
Well, I think so, sir. Any way I can try. We've got to get them out.
Dixon, it's no use. We've tried every way to get in there to the machine shop. There's fire all around. You can't even touch the deck or the bulkheads. Paint's burning. Some of the passages are closed.
I know. But we got to get in there, and I think I know a way.
Some of those compartments are flooded, too. Water's running down from above. Look, if you know a way, I'll go with you. But I can't see how it's going to be done.
Just follow me. Stay low and keep coming.
Okay. I'm right behind you.
Hang on. Go. We got to go down a couple of decks. Below the fire. Then come up.
Yep. I said a lot of those compartments and passages down there are flooded.
Then we'll find some that are open. Come on.
Dixon and his shipmate plunged through that thick smoke, gasping, choking, feeling their way between twisted, warped bulkheads, at times feeling the flames licking at them.
We can't get through. Not this way, Dixon. It's solid fire along.
Just get to the turn right ahead. There's the ladder leading down.
I can't see.
Neither can I, but I know it's there. Come on. Here. Now this way. There. Take it easy on the ladder. Don't fall.
Now which way?
Over here. We got to go down through this compartment and across to the other side.
Hey, Dixon. Dixon, it's all water. It's flooded down here.
Yeah, but that's better than a fire. Can you swim?
Not too good.
All right, you stay here. Wait for me. And answer me when I yell. I'm going to try to swim over and locate that other door. If I can find that, I can get to the machine shop.
More water was draining down into the compartment now. More water from the thousands of tons that were being pumped into the fire above the decks. But Dixon struggled on in the pitch blackness. Shipmate called to him.
Dixon! Dixon, are you all right?
Yeah, so far. But I still got to find that door in the bulkhead. There! I found it! Wait there for me, Jimmy. I'll try to bring him back this way.
Jimmy waited, not knowing which minute a new explosion or rush of water might cut off their escape. But he waited hour-long minutes. And then...
Jimmy! Jimmy!
Here, Dixon! Did you find him?
Yeah, I got them. They're right behind me. Some of them are hurt. Stand by to help them. I can't swim. All right, you guys. Follow me. Come on. Swim. Get across this compartment. You'll get out. Help the men who can't swim. But keep coming.
Dick was one of many heroes. It would take hours to give credit to each of them individually. There were Marines who manned a gun near the island. All during the fire, they kept their gun ready, with the flames licking so close to them that they were forced to throw their hot ammunition overboard and replace it from below every few minutes with some that was cooler. There were the officers and men of our sister ship, the destroyers Sperry, Stemble, and English, who came alongside our blazing ship to pick up men from the water. There was the cruiser Wilkes-Barre, which locked itself on our starboard after quarter, evacuated our wounded, and added her hoses to ours in fighting the fire. More tons of water were being pumped onto the flames, so much weight that the Bunker Hill began to lift to starboard, began to lean farther and farther to one side. One more hit from a suicide plane might have finished the Bunker Hill, and we knew it.
Pretty bad down below, sir. The men can't get out the fire. I know it. All that burning gas and oil is being floated all over the hangar deck by water. Not only the hangar deck, the decks below that, too. We're lucky our engine rooms have remained in operation. If only we could get rid of some of that water that's causing us to lisp, we'd have a chance. If only we could force it out the other side of the... John, I've got an idea.
Whatever we do, sir, we'll have to do it fast. There are a dozen men trapped on the starboard side of the hangar deck, surrounded by fire.
They're trying to fight the fire, but it's too much for them. Let me talk to the captain. Captain?
Yes, Charlie?
Some of the men are trapped below, against the starboard side. The weight of all this water that's being pumped into the Bunker Hill is making it impossible for them to fight the fire. They can't get out, and we can't get to them. Too much water.
We've got a 6-degree list now. A little more, likely to capsize.
I know. Captain, I've got an idea. It might work, but it might not.
What is it?
The only thing that will save us is to clear all that water out of the ship and force that burning gas and oil overboard.
It's a good idea. But how do you think it can be done?
We could do it by centripetal force, sir. If we made a turn to the right, at exactly the right speed, all that water would be washed to port and out the openings in our hull. It'd take the burning oil and gas with it.
Turn to the... Well, you might capsize the ship. We're listing that way now.
I know. It would be a ticklish job, sir. If we moved too fast, the weight of that water would capsize us the other way. It'll have to be done at exactly the right speed and degree of turn.
Can you do it?
I think so. We've got to do something. We're heading straight for Kikai, sir. There may be more suicide planes after us any time.
Very well, Charlie. John, order the destroyers to get everyone out of the water on our port. Here.
Yes, sir.
And tell the Wilkes-Barre to make ready for a turn.
Yes, sir.
Calculate the course you'll recommend, Charlie.
Yes, sir. John, tell the Wilkes-Barre and the destroyers what we're going to do.
From the bullhorn of the Bunker Hill, Lieutenant Hasberg called to the destroyers.
Ahoy, destroyers! Have all the men been picked up from our port? Clear on your port. Everyone has been picked up. Then stand clear. We're going to make a turn to starboard. Ahoy, Wilkes-Barre! Ahoy, Bunker Hill! Disengage your bow. Lengthen your hoses and be ready for a turn.
In the pilot house of the Bunker Hill, Commander Odend'hal computed the speed and course necessary to this delicate operation. The life of the ship and of every man aboard hung upon the accuracy of his...
Destroyers are standing clear, sir. Good. And the Wilkes-Barre? She's pulled off 150 feet, but she's still got her hose playing on our fires. Everything's ready. We've ordered all the men to stay away from the port side of the hangar deck. Good. Stand by. John, this is going to be a tight squeeze. One wrong move and the Bunker Hill may be finished. We're ready, Captain.
What course do you recommend?
130 true.
Very well. Make it so. I hope your plan works, Charlie. If it doesn't, well, get on with it.
Now came the test. All those tons of water and flaming debris on the hangar deck must be made to shift across the ship from starboard to port and out into the ocean through the wide openings in the side of the ship. Commander Odend'hal spoke to the helmsman.
Come right. Very, very carefully. Don't use more than 2.5 degrees rudder. Watch me.
Aye, sir.
While Commander Odend'hal, with the fate of the ship in his hands, coached the helmsman every second, weary, scorched firefighters on the flight deck turned questioning eyes toward the island.
What's going on, Mike? We're changing course.
I don't know. But I wish they'd dig up some fresh air. I can't breathe.
They're trying to do something. Come on, men. Let's keep at it. Here, this way. You over there. Get the starboard and bring that hose to bear.
In the inferno of the hangar deck, other men with blackened faces and blistered bodies felt the movement of the ship.
All right, men. You heard the order. Stay clear of the port side.
What are they doing up on the bridge? The ship will turn over.
Pipe down and get back here.
With all this smoke and the deck's burning my feet.
It's hot for all of us, kid. But look, pay out that hose and keep working. Trust those guys on the bridge. They know what they're doing. They'll get us out of this somehow.
Now the Bunker Hill's rudder bit into the sea, and Commander Odend'hal kept up his flow of instructions to the tense young helmsman.
Easy now. Give her more. Hold it, not too much.
As sensitive to the ship's balance as a tightrope walker, Commander Odend'hal felt the movement of the deck beneath.
The water's shifting. Hold it steady.
Aye, sir.
I can hear the water moving. I can hear it now. Steady now. Too much turn and the weight of the water will pull us over with it. Listen to it. It's rolling out the port side. Give it a little more, helmsman. A little more.
Aye, sir.
Now hold it. Commander, look. All that smoke and flame to port. That's where the water's floating the oil and gas overboard. We're losing our list. Hold her in the turn. Hold her there. Got a lot of water to move overboard. Steady, helmsman. Hold her steady.
Out of the openings on the port side of the Bunker Hill cascaded waves of oily water, carrying with it burning fuel and flaming debris, carrying with it the very heart of the fire that had been started only a half hour ago by those Japanese suicide planes. Slowly, as the weight of water shifted, the Bunker Hill rose toward an even keel. The decks, which had slanted dangerously, began to level off. In the pilot house, Commander Odend'hal drew his hand across his moist brow.
How is it, John? A lot of that water was dumped overboard, Commander. Very well. Helmsman, hold to this course.
Aye, sir.
We're beginning to list to port, Commander. Are we going over? Not if we work this right. But staying in our turn, we can hold this list to port and keep the water draining down over the side. And it'll give our repair parties a chance to work on the damage below deck. Hold to this course exactly, helmsman, and watch me. If we do this right, the Bunker Hill is saved.
More water, tons of it rushed overboard, and the crew felt the release. Now the heavy, choking smoke from burning oil and gas swept away from the men on the decks of the Bunker Hill. And men with grimy, scorched faces, their lips too burned to cheer, gulped deeply at the fresh air that whipped across the deck. Below, men who had lain gasping on blistering decks felt new life surge through them with their first breath of clean, cool air. They knew, yes, knew that their faith in the man on the bridge had died, and that the Bunker Hill would live to fight again. Commander Odend'hal, was there aboard of tons of water that threatened to capsize your ship?
Well, not with a ship carrying as much water as the Bunker Hill.
How did you happen to hit upon such an unusual and spectacular plan?
Well, for us in the Bunker Hill, it was an unusual and spectacular occasion. Our predicament called for drastic action. But I don't mind confessing, now that it's past, that when we began to make that turn, felt the movement of all that water on the decks beneath us, I'd rather have been anywhere on the Bunker Hill than the navigator. It's a strange feeling to know that upon your judgment hangs the lives of thousands of men and the safety of a great ship like the Bunker Hill.
But you did execlan successfully, and the Bunker Hill survived. How did it feel to know that again you were a fighting ship?
We never ceased being a fighting ship. Even during the worst of the fire, as many as possible of our guns were manned and ready. And we even shot down another suicide plane that came in to try to finish us off. As soon as our decks were cleared of the debris, we held gunnery practice. It's going to take more than a couple of Jap suicide planes to put the Bunker Hill out of action.
Thank you, Commander Charles J Odend'hal, for bringing us this exciting narrative of action in the first line. Friends, in the carrier Bunker Hill, we see exemplified the strength which American workers are building into our warships. And in its men, we see the qualities of courage and determination and skill which are so typical of America's fighting sons. They are embarked on the long, sometime bitter road that leads to victory, and none can stand before them. For in these fighting men is embodied America's hope for the future. To them, the men of the Navy, the nation gives its praise and its gratitude as they fight so valiantly in the first line.